Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I am covering a really fun hunter build that is meant for endgame content. So I'm talking GMs, master raids, whatnot, with Strand. And basically the premise of the build is infinite suspension. So we are going to be using the Sixth Coyote exotic chest piece in this build. And basically what this does is it gives you a second dodge, which is really awesome for hunter, especially on Strand, because we have this aspect right here, which is basically going to turn our dodge into a shatter dive, pretty much, that will suspend enemies on impact. It's got a pretty fair AoE, so you can get quite a few enemies with that. Normally in a GM or whatever, getting up close would be pretty risky. But with this, you can just dodge and everything will be suspended, which is really good for champions, of course, and also really good for just crowd control. So, yeah, even though this exotic is normally slept on, it's really good on Strand, just for that alone. Now, for the subclass as well, of course, we're going to be using Shackle grenades because the whole premise of the build is suspension, and Shackle grenades are really good because they suspend. Now, what's really nice about Hunter as well is the other aspect, Widow's Silk, which gives you a additional grenade charge. This is just crazy, because it works for all of the grenades. So you get 2 Shackle grenades, and now we have 2 Ensnaring slams. So we have 4 sources, 4 very easy sources of suspension, which is really good. So we pretty much don't have to worry about getting suspending, abilities anymore, just for that alone, just having 4 of these. But we do have things that are going to give these back very quickly as well. Now for the fragments, I have Thread of Generation, which is just absolutely amazing. Basically, dealing damage will give you grenade energy for free, and obviously with Shackle grenades, that's really strong. And also with the weapon of choice that I have in the build, which I'll get to later, this becomes just that much better. So this is a really, really good fragment. Definitely recommend this. And you don't really lose much for using this, so very good. Now for the rest of the fragments, honestly, you can use whatever you like. Definitely recommend Thread of Continuity though, because it just means that you have suspend up longer. Enemies will be suspended longer, and it just means that you have more time to get your cooldowns ready for another suspend. Which is really good, and it just means that you can melt things easier because it's just going to be sitting in the sky, not able to shoot you. Now, the other 2 things here I have just for stats, because I like to get these double. But it's completely up to you. I do recommend using the fragment that gives you Woven Mail on all pickup. I can't get that in here without losing the doubles, so, it is what it is. But I do think these are still decent. So Thread of Ascent I have here, which is when I activate my grenade, it's going to reload my equipped weapon, and also give me handling. I don't really care about the airborne effectiveness, but the handling is nice. This is just free reloads really, since we're going to be throwing lots of grenades anyway. Thread of Binding, however, really isn't necessary. However, because I don't have Star Eaters on, my super is mostly going to be for ad clear. So suspending on every super final blow is still pretty good, but I do definitely recommend having Thread of Warding instead, over this one especially. So, yep, that's the Strand subclass. Now for the weapon of choice, I am going to be using my beloved Osteo. You don't have to use this, but I highly recommend using this purely for the poison DOT. The thing is with Thread of Generation is that it's just dealing damage gives you grenade energy, which means every single tick of damage will give you grenade energy, including every single poison tick on top of damage that you're doing with other stuff as well, which just makes getting back those grenades easier. On top of this, it is overload for this season, and because we have so much suspension, we don't need to worry about barriers or unstoppables, because suspension automatically stuns unstoppables, and it will also pick up barriers and stop them from being able to attack you, and also stop them from putting up their shield. So Osteo is an S tier pick for endgame content. It does a lot of damage, especially when you match the overcharge, which you will be because you're on Strand. And yeah, you already have suspension, so you don't have to worry about the other 2. So very, very good stuff here. Your other weapons, completely up to you. Now for the mods, honestly, you can use whatever the hell you like. It really doesn't matter. I've gone for super generation, and I've also gone for grenade energy. Don't need this really, but I do like having a bit more passive grenade energy cooldown. Since 2 of these equals 50, 1 of them equals 30, so technically I have 100 discipline as long as I have an armor charge. But I do recommend using things like, you know, bolstering detonation, momentum transfer, even things for your melee as well that give back class ability. You know, just anything that chains abilities is definitely recommended. As for the legs, you can use surges if you like, or you could use scavs or whatever. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Obviously I have resistances, which is very good for endgame. Even kinetic surges, good for endgame as well, because I'm using Osteo. I have time dilation to extend my fonts, and then I also have bomber, so that when I use my suspend class ability, it gives me a bit of grenade energy. Technically you would pair that with bolstering, to chain the two, but, you know, it's whatever. And then I have Reaper, because, you know, just using a class ability means I get a free orb on the next kill, which I'm going to be doing a lot of, so it's very fun. Very, very awesome suspend build. Very easy to make as well. You just need Sixth Coyote, you know, just a decent rolled one, and then the rest is up to you. And obviously, all of this is very easy to do, because you could just buy it all, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. I'll have a little bit of gameplay just showing, you know, suspending champs or whatever in a lost sector. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to show, but yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the build, and adios.